All right. So the prompt for this session will be, how does your character want to be seen by others? So I'll start with Devars. How does Devars wish to be seen by other people?
Probably dependable and a reliable person.
Perfect. And we'll move on next to Bakara. How does Bakara want to be seen by other people?
He's definitely a little self-conscious about his weaknesses that he has. So he tries to very much project that he is stronger than his weaknesses are.
I could totally see that. That's great. What about Marcel?
He preferably does not want to be seen at all by anyone. He's a little bit on the run, as one might say. So he just wants to blend into the background. He doesn't really care what other people think. He just has a thing that he's doing and is doing whatever he can to get by.
Great. And what about Lilyheart last?
Similar to Devars, probably capable is the word that I would use for Lilyheart, because he's lived a life where he has been, I don't know, kind of stepped upon so much, and has seen a lot of failure in the past, that he kind of just wants to be seen as capable. Not even necessarily dependable, just, oh, he can do well on his own, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, independent, not to be messed with. Cool. Yeah, so last we left off, put you guys back on the marsh screen here. You guys had made it to the sunken tower in your hex. I'd say it's probably about noon at this point. You entered in this sort of rotting door nearly falling off of its hinges as you make your way inside. Like I said last time, you just see a bunch of ruined furniture. You see a fireplace that still has some ashes inside, though they are cold. And you found a note on the wall, barely legible, that reads, "I have trapped it in the cell using my arcanum, but I cannot stand to be near it. Let it live out its pathetic life up there and prey on us no longer." A very foreboding message. So as all of you are gathered in this entrance hall to this tower, what would you like to do?
Do we hear any sounds coming from upstairs? I don't know how thick the floors would be, but is there any clomping, any stomping?
You don't hear anything, but you also know stone walls cut out a lot of sound.
Yeah. And what do the hinges and the locks on the door look like? Is it still a rotten door? Is the arcanum protecting it from even aging, basically increasing its strength?
You're talking about the front door?
Is the thing trapped inside and are we outside?
So you're on in the entrance hall of the tower, so the base of the tower.
Yeah.
It has...
Wherever the note is, pretty much.
Yeah, it looks like that's right by the stairwell that goes up. Mm-hmm. There's no door to
Oh, there's no door. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I think Marcel would take a peek up the stair. Reading that, I think he's curious, but he also doesn't want to die. So he's gonna reach his head around and look up to see if there's anything immediately dangerous. But I don't think he immediately wants to explore it. Okay. I think he's more concerned about shelter than anything.
Yeah, peeking up. You see what looks to be what perhaps formerly was a barracks. You see 3 or 4 racks of weapons. The only weapons that are remaining, you see 4 muskets arranged on the rack and 2 sabers.
I think Marcel would try to go and like at least scout it out and make sure there's nothing else like gonna jump him, but he'll probably like take the sabers and like toss them down the stairs, and then like carry at least 2, like a musket down in each hand, and start handing them out.
Cool. And yeah, you find a barrel of powder as well, but it's actually so damp in here that it's completely spoiled. It's gotten damp and just soaked from like years of this tower being battered by the sea.
Yeah.
But the 4 muskets seem usable. The 2 sabers are a bit rusty, but they're usable as well.
Cool. What does Marcel have? Does he have a pistol? I forget. He has like a flintlock with like 1 round or something left.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I
1
could
shot
use
left.
a saber. All I have is a pole arm.
Yeah, a saber is d6 damage. It's essentially like a small cutlass.
Sure. I took 1. I don't know if anybody else wants one, but
I ain't got no inventory space.
Oh, I forgot we have to do inventory management.
What?
I guess we'll just leave him down
inventory-
here for now, but Marcel's fine with his flintlock and his
Unless
other
I can
items.
never mind.
our inventories are strength. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's our strength,
Yeah.
and then it's something like how many like small items make up 1 bulker?
Yeah, so it's just 1 over your strength.
Okay, 1 over your strength. Okay.
Yeah, it's very simple. Just like that's the fraction that's always used.
And that's
I don't
what
know
you
what you-
just found, like right up the stairs.
Yep.
And what floor did the note say this thing was on?
I don't think it did say a floor.
It didn't say a
Okay,
floor, it
but-
just said
But
a
you didn't
cell.
see any cages or anything. Ugh. I mean, come on. How long would this? If it escaped, how long would it stay in this tower for? Let's be realistic.
I mean, if you'd like to go up to the door, like go up the staircase to where it like ends and probably beat the locked door, I'm down to go. I just don't think I'd go inside unless it's empty. Like if we're just looting, I don't think Gregory wants to fight anything per se. He just wants to be able to survive.
Oh, it's a dog eat dog world out here. So yeah, I guess Lilyheart will go up the stairs. And there's the
You
locked
see-
door at it, like up here. Is it? It's just like a circular room, right?
Yeah, the door to the barracks is open. There is a lock on the door, but it's like you don't know whether it would be effective at this point. It's rusted out entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And the door on the 3rd floor is also open.
So we're on the 1st floor.
I guess we'll walk up.
Yeah,
Walk
you
up
want to go to the
third
rooms that are
floor.
open? Yeah, the 3rd floor is open.
All right, you guys going up to the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the lead.
You head on up and you see this floor is a library. You see hundreds of books along bookshelves, and you see a table. and it looks like there's a sealed map case on top of the table.
Are there any indications that someone's been here? Like, is there like a candle that's like just recently snuffed out, or
No, it honestly doesn't look like, you know, from the style of the muskets and the swords, that this tower might be multiple decades old. And besides the note, which seems more recent, it doesn't seem like anyone has been here for decades.
A map could be useful. Especially if it's of this island.
yeah, I think Gregory, his interest is now peaked, being an antiquities person and seeing like this room with all the old books, and he goes to the map case in the middle.
Okay. Opening it up and taking out its contents. You see it's a chart of the region.
Oh, yay!
Albeit incomplete. You see there are markings in blue ink along possible locations. It appears as though this might have been from when the island was attempted to be colonized at some point. But this is going to be my in-game conceit for giving you guys the hex map.
Yay! Are you gonna display it on the screen?
Yep.
Yes. I miss maps and battle maps. I like looking at things.
Here's the map.
Wait a minute, it's completely incomplete. Hold on a second.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
So this is essentially just a conceit. Like this is how you guys will map your journey of the island.
I see.
But you can see the sunken tower at the bottom, and as you guys explore
That's
more
cool.
hexes, you'll get more revealed.
Yo, we're going to the North Pole, everybody.
And the ships are somewhere in this hex as well, right?
Yeah, that's right.
He's
Ooh.
kind of
That's
this
huge.
third-
Yes, the crossover. What'd you say, Caleb?
Big fan of this wizard that's got a compass on the globe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Zeus and Magellan.
it's first Quill Chin layer from the packet I gave you guys, the Islands of the Farsi packet.
Interesting. Is there anything else that's useful in this room? I think Gregory would be probably going through to look for any artifacts, since we know we kind of need that to survive the branding that we all have.
Well, knowledge has infinite uses.
Yeah, would you like to go through the bookshelves?
Yeah, bookshelves for either artifacts and or relevant books about this area.
Okay. You don't find anything about the area, oddly. They appear to be almost exclusively holy books. Like those that people trying to convert a population might bring to a given land.
Oh, the missionaries.
But interestingly, you do, being an antiquarian, you realize a lot of these star books, these holy books, are about this figure called Saint Katerina of the Bells, who was this religious figure. The sort of imagery of the religion itself is a tower, which is featured on a lot of the books, and you read that it's called the Carrion Tower. It's spelt like this. Carrion Tower. What's interesting to you is that you know Saint Katerina of the Bells and the Carrion Tower. Its name is actually somewhat ironic because it was a tower that outlasted this like scourge of undead that occurred in Bastion. That's actually where the dead quarter of Luon got its name. If you guys read the packet. But essentially the dead quarter was overrun with this sickness that brought the dead back to life. And according to these holy books, Saint Katerina was one of the few survivors, and she maintained a fire burning at the top of Carrion Tower, and the dead would not enter into her abode.
Does this tower potentially look like the one that's we're in?
No.
As sort of like a homage as they were building this missionary.
Oh, yeah.
outpost?
It certainly looks like an homage. You see a lot of like edifices that feature Saint Katerina's face in stone, and you saw this from the outside too. But it was so like covered in grime and barnacles that like her face just was unrecognizable.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this isn't like the exact tower. That one is in Bastion, but it's an homage for sure.
Any artifacts in the room? Any like holy religious artifacts?
Not in this room. No, just a lot of books.
Okay. Well, now that Gregory knows that this tower has antiques, I think he's gonna go be a little bit more curious after he like scours the room.
Is this like a period in time that like books themselves could even be seen as valuable?
Yeah, you know that most
so, like,
of
they
these
might have had some money, dude. They could have some nice stuff up there.
I don't know if there was ever a period in time when books had value.
Besides fuel for the fire.
Comic books.
Yeah, you know, in this world, the religion of Saint Katerina of the Bells is kind of like a parallel to Catholicism. So you know that a lot of their stuff is like, you know, gilded, cast in gold, like imagery of her in like, you know, like almost like a Mary Magdalene type shroud and cowl. So a lot of potentially very valuable things could be found in this tower if it's properly stocked.
Yeah. What other floors were open or locked? Or 2 was...
You guys cleared floors 1 through 3. It looks like there's a floor above you.
Okay. Shall we go?
Right.
I don't think Marcel leads the way. I think he waits for someone else to take their initiative there.
Oh yeah, Lilyheart will do it. As I said
Perfect.
earlier, he wants to show that he's capable. Maybe to a fault to some extent, where he'll put himself in riskier situations. This is my way, Tyler, of justifying taking risky choices as a player.
Oh, I like
Whereas
it.
you were justifying giving us a hex map, I'm justifying me liking to take risky choices as a player.
Nice. You head on up and you see row upon row of cells. The walls appear to have suffered some sort of fire damage. The stone is burned and blackened. And one of the cells here has a large shroud covering it. And you see the cage itself is surrounded by 3 rings of salt.
Oh god. Are any of the salt rings broken?
No.
Okay, fucking think.
You also find it impressive that it's remained intact if this tower was running decades ago.
So either some magic shenanigans is going on, or people have been here recently.
So actually, a question for you. I don't know if this is in the packet, but what is the basis of magic in this world? Is it like sort of demon hunter type magic where like there are rituals and things, or is it like high fantasy magic where you like cast fireballs? Like, what is magic like?
Yeah, so it's almost, in this era of history, it's almost exclusively arcanum, which are magic objects that function similarly to spells. Some of them are one-use items, like you could burn something or smash something to have the effect. Some of them can be used indefinitely. But at the fringes of society, rumors abound of people that have maintained the old ways of the ancients and can still cast spells, but it's extremely rare.
Interesting.
Um,
And so this shrouded cell with unbroken salt rings, this doesn't look like not traditional, modern magic via arcanum. This is like a ritual type deal.
yeah, well, what's interesting to you is you know a bit about like folk tradition when it comes to magic,
Yeah.
and you know that it's widely believed that like demons and other unnatural creatures can be stopped by salt. But it's more or less a folktale to you. Like you wouldn't place stock in it, just as you wouldn't an unnatural creature appearing in broad daylight.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Query looks at all the empty cells. Is there anything? Are there anything in any of them?
Yeah. Along what looks like an ancient wooden table at the edge of this room, you find a woolen bag, and when you open it up, you find these strange pink-hued salts inside, and you would know them to be ether salts, which are also extremely valued by occultists, like the crystal shards you gathered before. It's a pretty small batch, so it'd just be considered a small item.
Okay. I think I can. Yeah, I'll take that. Add ether salts. Interesting. This isn't the same salt that's like spread around the ring, is it? Or is it?
Yep.
They actually want to lift up the shroud and like go inside the circles to see what's in the cell, or we kind of just move on?
I mean, I don't want to lead the way, but I'd follow someone, maybe.
I think.
But if not, I'll move along with the group.
Is there like a broom or something we can? Is like a shroud? Do you mean like something is draped over the cell, like the front of the cell?
Or like a
Yeah.
mist? Oh,
Yeah, looks like a large piece of cloth is just draped over.
Someone has a. We have two sabers or like a
I'll use the
musket,
pole.
just, like-
I'll use the pole arm. That's got to be long
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah,
I have
it's
a
kind of like
mace.
Marston's
Can I-
gonna
The
take a.
pitchfork, dude. It's got the.
Yeah,
Can I
you-
try to just like?
Yeah,
hold
I'm gonna.
things
You're
a
gonna
little bit?
see as you guys do that, Marcel's sort of gonna step back towards the staircase, like ready to bolt if something happens.
I'm not trying to like rip the whole thing down. But
Oh
maybe
yeah, just trying to peek in, see what's there.
curtain it sort of thing.
Yeah, as you take the pole arm and just push this cloth slightly to the side, you don't see anything at first. It's just darkness, but you see this outline of a shape. It does not appear human by the slightest. It maybe it resembles, like size-wise, a small elephant. And as you take the pole arm and reveal more and more, you see 8 eyes gleaming at you in the darkness. And you sort of you let the cloth down, it falls back, and you hear the cage start to rumble a little bit as it moves
No.
around.
I know better than to mess with something like that.
Especially you, because the Golden Lands are filled with, they're called the Great Beasts, like just oversized monsters. So you certainly know that like the might not be a good idea.
Should leave that in the cage where it is.
Agreed. There's no other floors, right? This is the top floor.
No, there's another floor.
Oh, there's another floor. All right, we're gonna
I'm
just
gonna go up.
yeah,
Okay,
we're just gonna
I'll leave you
we're
to
just
it.
gonna ignore that entirely. We'll keep moving.
As you start to make your way up the stairs, you hear a voice coming from the cage. It's sounding in this like language that you don't recognize immediately. It sounds ancient, but it's like this gravelly voice that's echoing, and it's just like Rektach Realpai Respite. Just like these weird words you've never heard of, but it seems to be like beckoning you to come back. Do you ignore it or keep going? Or do you keep going and ignore it, or turn around?
Well, we can always come back to it on the way back down, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. I'll come back to it later, maybe, but
Does that ring any bells to me from my historic past dealing with these large beasts?
No. And it just cements the fact in your mind that this must be some kind of abomination, not something that nature created.
Well, if it looks like a friend and sounds like a friend, then it's probably a friend.
So, you head on up to the 5th floor. On top of this tower, it provides a clear view of the surrounding area. So I'm going to reveal to you a few more hexes.
ooh, let's go. Ooh.
Cool.
You see you're on a little bit of a peninsula. And I'll have whoever would like can try to strain their eyes a bit to try to see farther if you want to make out any landmarks of these hexes. You're just going to make a willpower save.
Ooh, I'll make a willpower save. Ooh, how does... Hey.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, this marshland is shrouded in fog.
Hold on, my mouse is
And that
acting
20,
up.
oh my god!
You immediately attacked.
Damn.
Damn.
Oh my
You
god.
lose an eye.
It honestly makes sense
Yikes.
though. Like it's so difficult to make out anything even a half a mile from the tower. It's just shrouded in this mist. There's this soft rain that's coming down, and the longer you stand on this floor, you start to get wet from it.
We'll head back inside. But do we know what the terrain looks like? Is it just like heavily forested at all, or do we not know?
This area that I revealed is more marshland.
Okay.
But you see in the far distance, like it starts to become woodland at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna have one of you guys roll a salvage roll. So the loot at the top of the tower is gonna be randomly determined.
Did you do a salvage roll?
So Marcel and Devaris, I'll have you guys both roll Let's see what the die is. A D10.
Wait, unless one is good in this, because everything needs to be lower. Then that could be good.
Got both sides covered.
Yeah, we got both sides covered.
Or it's just random.
Yeah.
It is random, but both a 1 and an 8 are very good. So you guys
Let's
lucked out.
go!
Excellent.
You find what looks like the small, or not small, probably like the size of like a hand or so, metallic object with a wick on the end. You find a metal grenade.
Oh.
Essentially one of those old-fashioned grenades that are like just this ball of metal with a wick out the end of it.
Yeah.
And
And
with
add
an-
it to my own collection.
yeah, it function. It's essentially a bomb, so you can label it as that if you want to take it. You
I'll
also-
call it a grenade.
You also find a file of these salts that appear to be like a dark red. The ones you had seen previously were this like light pink, and these appear to be dark crimson salts.
Interesting. I guess I'll take it since I'm also carrying the ether salt. Is there, did we find it next to anything of information like like a book of alchemy, or is it just sort of like out on a table?
It appears to be out. It looks like this tower was probably searched, and like a lot of things were probably taken from it. And
I see.
these are just things that might have gone unnoticed. You actually have to
Yep.
do a bit of searching to find them.
Okay.
You also see what looks to be this like brass cauldron, as big as a man or two, laying down side by side. So this big cauldron, it has these like angelic faces worked into the metal with this like unknown liquid that's sloshing inside.
Would any of us know the nature of the religion around St. Katerina of the Bells? Like, is it more an occulty type religion, or is it like Catholicism? So what I'm mainly getting at here is like, this looks like some sort of alchemy or rituals with like the salt around the door, the cauldron, the salts with the bubbles. Like, it doesn't look like mainline science per se. So is this like odd for this type of religion?
Yeah, you figured that, well, I'll say this, you know that, the religion of Saint Katerina is very much, pitched against undeath. So
Okay.
it stands to reason that, like, they might
Yeah.
be using these to, like, ward off the undead or to make sure that abominations stay where they're contained. So it definitely is within the realm of possibility for these people. Also, they're, I guess, not like directly analogous to Catholicism in that, like,
Yeah.
they're probably more analogous to like an extreme branch of Catholicism, like one of those
Okay,
like
like
esoteric orders of like the 1600s that few people have heard of. They're very
Got it.
extreme,
Okay.
and they do, from what you know, carry out inquisitions and like ritual torturing, burning, beating, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So they're hardcore.
Interesting. That's kind of crazy. All right, I thought this was like a normal vanilla, just another religion. No, this is like a.
All the
okay.
religions in this world are crazy.
Okay, good to know. Interesting. Okay. Is there anything next to the cauldron, like books, like an alchemy book or any like? Are they following a recipe that has hopefully not deteriorated if it's in like a book or notepad or something?
In the cauldron?
Near the cauldron, like on the table, on the floor next to it.
Making your way around this top floor, you see that like whatever is in here was likely used for fuel for a beacon that was likely lit to alert passing ships. It looks like it might have at one point been like oil or like a mixture of oil and something else, but it's since spoiled. It looks to be like green and brackish.
Okay. We could. We haven't created a campsite, right, guys? We decided to go to this tile first instead of setting up camp on the beach.
Yes. I mean, we do have that creepy monster in here.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Is like we spent time in the tower. We could set up camp in the tower, but there's a spooky monster on the floor below us. So we could try to press our luck on the beach and not be in the tower with the spooky monster.
But then also be at risk of the tides and all that. Maybe we can find a way to like at least like pseudo barricade the stairway down, like set up camp here for the night. I don't know, that monster was kind of trying to beckon us back, right? Maybe have 2 people up on every watch.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So we'll say you guys, in exploring this tower, that will be the second watch of the day. So it's now 2 p.m.
Right.
So next watch will be from 2 p.m. to, let me think, 8 p.m. So...
Ryan, English or Spanish? Did his computer crash?
Internet outage.
Damn.
Because I just thought, I'm like,
Sad.
wow, he's holding the best freeze frame I've ever seen. Is all I could see.
That's funny.
Or actually, my mistake. It's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. is the third watch. I will say this. There are different mechanics for, like, if you guys want to spend a watch to, like, try to hunt, try to, like, forage for food, try to find fresh water, things like that.
Yeah, maybe we can use a watch to try to collect water, whether it be by like boiling seawater. I know we have like a piece of canvas from one of the ships, so we could like boil water and collect water from the vapors as fresh water. Do something like that.
You can also use a watch to, like, build structures. It's like if you wanted to, like, build a camp, you can do that. If you wanted to build a barricade or a barrier, you could do that.
Yeah, I guess, so for instance, just collecting water, would that be like a one-person job, or?
Multiple people can do it, and you'll get
Okay.
more of whatever you're looking for.
How many water rations do we have right now? 2? I think we have 2. I have that written in my notes as 2 water rations.
Oh, actually, I take it back. So, for these, if more than one person does it, it basically is if either person succeeds, they get it. So it just gives you a higher chance of getting it because you have to succeed on a check in order to get like food and water and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'll join in.
I mean, yeah, I guess
Getting some water.
2 people on water and 2 people like, I guess like building kind of a barricade.
I can build.
Build a barricade.
I've built stuff.
Okay.
I wish Ryan were here.
I know, me too. Yeah, let me ask him about that. I guess I'll wait and see if it's like a temporary thing. But yeah, so would you like to use the items in the tower to build your barricade? Or would you like to like tell them to get some wood for you to properly build something?
I think I'll be able to use mostly tower items. I assume they had some wood furniture or something I can make my way with.
Yeah, and as well, they had the bookshelves and the tables.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So all that's together, you can certainly try to make something good. Let me just pull up this table here.
Such a beautiful map. I don't want to look at anything else on Roll20.
I know, the rest is like all horror. Cool. So, yeah, if you spend I'm trying to find this, but I know if you spend a watch on construction, you can build essentially what amounts to like a small barricade or fortification. So we'll say you do that. What would Devars and Lilyheart like to do?
We're collecting water. I think we're setting up like little collection rigs on the top of the tower here.
Awesome. So why don't you both give me willpower saves? If one of you succeeds, you're successful in gathering water.
Hey.
Good thing.
Oh.
Nice. All right, so let me...
My 2 rolls have been natural 20s. I'm such a high roller today.
All right, so over the course of 4 hours, let me look on my little table here. You gain 2 gallons of water. As you set these out, and the rain just like slowly accumulates over time.
Nice.
Essentially 2 water rations.
Good. Now we have enough water rations for everyone.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Hello?
Oh, he's
Hello,
back!
welcome
Let's
back.
go!
Oh, he's
Okay.
back.
Okay, good. Nice. I don't know what the fuck happened. It wasn't our like our router. It was like I think the router lost or the gateway lost connection to the internet, so I bet ISP was just down for a hot second. Alright. What did I miss? We found
Sorry
water
to say,
rations.
Ryan,
Marcel died. No.
but you're gonna have to find something to do during this watch.
Oh, I'm watching.
Yeah, so there are a
Yeah,
bunch
what are you
of
watching?
different options.
Okay.
So Devars and Lilyheart both use the time to gather rainwater to drink. There's also like gathering food. You could go out hunting. You could go out foraging. Bakara built a barrier, which is another thing you can do. It's construction.
Are we out on the beach?
You guys are
We're
in the
on top of
tower
the
still.
tower.
Okay.
Let me check if there's anything else. I think that's it. Oh, there's also a process. If you wanted to turn standard rations into iron rations, you can essentially set up a smoke shack and do that. And that will that'll turn over 1 ration per 4 hours. Because you essentially
Valheim stuff.
Yeah. You essentially like dry them out so you can use them longer term. But yeah.
I don't know if Marcel would actually know how to do any of that though. Besides build, like if I think he tried to build something. I don't know what he'd build though. Like it was the barrier that you say Devars was building that?
Yeah, so
Bakara.
Did Bakara?
oh, I finally found it. Okay. So you can build like a simple wooden structure used as like a defense. I'd say between Bakara and you, like there's probably one more usage of this that you guys can do with just the wood of the tower, because there's a lot between the bookshelves and the desks and the chairs. You can build a simple wooden barrier in 4 hours if you wanted to build a second one, or you could also like it's also used for like building like an encampment of like tents. It can be used to build a smoke shack, which can be used to like I said, dry out rations to make them iron rations. Things like that, like simple wooden structures.
Yeah, I would help him build another barrier, I think.
Cool. So you got 1 barrier, well, 2 now. Where are you guys going to put both of these barriers in the tower?
How sturdy do they look? Because when I think bookshelves, I think like, oh, if a stiff breeze comes, it's gonna knock it over.
So these are like taking multiple bookshelves, like taking out the nails, reusing the nails to hammer them into other bookshelves and like make a proper thing. They're going to be a simple wood structure is 5 HP and an armor 2.
I think if we were smart about it, we'd take the bookshelves from floor 3, which is the library, and like build the barrier in the floor 4 jail like area. You know, so like we block off that door if the monster somehow escapes or something.
Yeah, that's smart. So 1 on floor 4. Where's the second one going?
Are there any windows, or is it just the door we came in and then like the staircase up?
There are windows. There's usually 2 windows to each floor. But they're small. Yeah, like they're so small that a person couldn't crawl through them.
Yeah, you can just look at them. How do you guys feel about putting one at the door we came in, so at least like we're sheltered from anything trying to come in for the night? Now that comes with like a downside of we'd have to move it if we're starting to get chased.
Could trap us, but
yeah.
Could be the last line of defense if it gets through the others.
So front door, or put another one against the staircase. So like the monster would have to get through two bookshelves worth of barrier.
I say reinforce the front door. I feel like that's already like a strong structure to reinforce it. I don't know.
I'm fine doing the front door. We don't know what like monsters lay here at night. Also, the ship had that thing that we kited last session or the session
Oh
before.
yeah, the
So
slow,
like
the crawler.
the slime boy type dealio. So maybe we block the front door and keep a lookout for that tonight.
True.
All right, let's do the front door then.
Okay. You set up the barrier, and it's good you chose the front door because,
Oh god.
like I mentioned before, the tide comes back in. And if you hadn't set up a barrier, the first floor would be entirely flooded, full of seawater. But as it stands, it's able to keep back most of the water, and it's only an inch or two beneath your feet that this floor is flooded.
Okay.
But you see, it's like every nook and cranny that the barrier is not covering up the doorway, there's like water spouting through constantly. As outside, like probably 8 or 9 feet tall, is just the water of the ocean that's now come in. This entire hex is now underwater.
I don't like that. Forgot about the rising tide there.
You also see the Loyal Watcher and the Endymion start to float out to sea.
No, ours rides.
The gilliflower, because it's split in two on the rocks, is actually high up enough that it stays. But at a rate of 1 hex per watch, they're going to slowly drift out to sea.
Interesting.
Well, I ain't swimming to go get it, so.
We're also not gonna survive the currents if we try to open that door. So.
We need like a raft or something.
Well, I mean, I don't think the raft would do anything because we'd float out to sea like the four of us and then die out at sea. So, I think the best bet is gonna be just hunker down for the night and then try to make our way inwards with the rations we have.
Sounds good.
And just so I know, are you guys going to use the lamp? Are you going to make a light in the tower so you guys can see? Or are you just going to let it fall into darkness as not to alert anyone else on the shore?
Well, the tide's coming in, right? So... I mean, by the time we got there in the morning, or like when we woke up in the morning, was the tide already receded?
Yeah.
Okay, so it should recede at some point during the night. Which... maybe we shouldn't have it... I mean, I think it might be safe to have it, like, the light on. At least, like, while the tide is coming in, because it's gonna be really hard to come up to us and reach us. With the tower being surrounded by seawater, but then we'll see as the watch comes to an end and the tide starts receding again. Maybe we'll turn it off then.
We'll snuff it out. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good game plan.
I still think someone will see it, but like, yeah, I think we should stay warm rather than like freeze to death in this tower because it's like it's also stone. So
we've already done things that have at least alerted any nearby people to our presence, like shooting a fucking cannon. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, who's gonna be on the first watch? So it's now 6 p.m. The next shift is gonna be from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I think Marshall is wired right now, trying to stay alive, so he'll stay up.
Cool. Who's gonna join Marcel?
Who did the first watch?
Marcel.
Oh, I'll do it with him.
Okay. Marcel and Bakara. On this first watch, like I said before, you see these like two hulking silhouettes of these ships just being slowly carried out to sea. They're now in the adjacent hex to the tower as they're slowly starting to drift out every 4 hours. I'm actually going to put something on here so you guys can see that they're drifting. Cool. There they are.
Oh, nice.
Very faint. They're underneath the water, at least partially, and just being slowly sunken and brought out.
Do we see any of the the blob monster thing while we're on watch? I guess it'll be too dark to see, but if there's like moonlight to see like a giant mass moving across the land or something.
You do see, by the light of the
Christ.
moonlight,
Oh,
It
fuck,
start-
that's scary.
it starts to move. It's almost like a reverse version of the ships. With each passing watch, it passes into an adjacent hex. And this creature looks like it's heading towards the foliage in the distance, towards the mountains.
Okay, that's a later us problem then.
Let me see if I have an icon for this. Oh, I do actually. This would work. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, that's a problem for later.
It's a problem for never. I'm going into the hex next to it, not that one.
But we don't know where it's gonna be like tomorrow. Like we lose sight of it. It could be in either one of those hexes or the ones farther north. So
Let's hope the hell not.
And in a weird way, you see, like, even from a distance, it's so massive that you can see it moving pretty clearly until it reaches the tree line.
oh damn. Okay,
You see,
that's kind of scary.
in a weird way, you only sort of gather this because the moon is like cresting the mountains. But you see it groping in the darkness for the light like a moth. It's slowly going towards the moon, which is just above the mountains.
Okay. So hold on, that's important. Attracted to light potentially,
Or the moon.
or the moon.
But other than that, the watch passes uneventfully. Who would like to take the second watch? This is going to be from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Oh boy. I mean, we should probably.
Probably stagger.
Wait, what, Benny?
We should probably stagger, right? We should probably rotate.
Yeah, so that everybody can get like their.
Yeah, if you wanted to like continue onto this watch with the same people and then just flip.
Oh yeah,
that
well,
would
yeah.
work.
Like, yeah, maybe would it be possible to like switch halfway through the watch?
Well, essentially what you guys could do is just have like the same people do 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., which would be 8 hours, and then just have the next people do whatever the next one would be, 12 a.m. to what would it be, 8 a.m.?
Well, the first one's 6 hours, right? You said 6 to 12.
No, well, they're 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. is one, and then 10 p.m.
Yeah,
to...
so-
Oh, sorry, my bad. It'd be 2
it'd be
a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I got
what
the
I was
math
saying
wrong.
is like dividing that one in half, so that get at least 6 hours each.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys could do that.
Sweet.
So we got Lilyheart and Devars for the second one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool. On this watch, you see that thing disappears into the tree line. You can no longer follow it with just your naked eyes. And I'm going to make a roll real quick. Okay. You see in the far distance what looks like the outline of a small ship. I'm going to reveal this to you on the map, actually.
Like it's sailing right now? Ooh.
It looks to be sailing around the horn of whatever island this is. At this distance, like, it's roughly 12 miles away, so you just see this, like, faint shape of a ship on the horizon.
But it's small, like smaller than the other three.
Yeah. This one appears to be a sloop. So it's a pretty small ship. But yeah, it doesn't look familiar to either of you. Looks like perhaps some small vessel, perhaps from a port somewhere close by, or maybe even a ship that's like making a large journey. You're not even sure.
Hey, boss. Do you reckon they'd try to rescue us? If we signaled them?
Could be pirates. I think we should signal them, just play along, and gotta figure out some way off this island, I say. Could be our best ticket off.
Although, what if they're part of the company?
I say we just keep our brands hidden and come up with a story together beforehand, and see if we can use them as a means to escape this island.
As you guys discuss this, you hear the sound of cannon fire in the distance coming from this ship.
Oh,
Hear like
God. Is heading towards the tower.
It looks like it's firing towards some location on the island. You're not even sure where. Like I said, it's like 12 or so miles in the distance. But you hear, because sound travels better over water, just the faint sound of just... It's not firing at you, though.
Maybe we should hold off then.
Does the ship look like it's going towards, like, the island, or does it look like it's like maintaining a distance and just like firing upon the island?
It looks like it's maintaining a distance and firing upon the island with that distance. You know, just from existing at this time period that a lot of times what ships will do for a bombardment is like go their max cannon range from the shore and fire so that any land cannons won't be able to hit them.
Oh.
But you don't hear any like return fire. So it seems like this is just firing at some sort of stationary target on the island that you can't see. What do you guys do?
Hope they don't hit us.
We're still asleep, right? This is happening during the watch.
Yeah.
I mean, out of character. I think you guys still hunker down. I don't know if we want to attract more attention to ourselves yet.
What do we get
Yeah.
from like a night's rest? Do we get what benefits do we accrue?
So your condition will end. I think it was like shaken nerves.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, you don't recover anything. You need to reach a port in order to recover, like lost strength,
shit.
lost. Yeah, but I don't think anyone's lost any stats yet.
No. I just can't regain HP until a night's rest.
Yeah, which you'll get
Yeah.
tonight. But essentially, like being out in the wild on this island, you're not getting the best rest. Like there are mosquitoes just constantly harassing you. All these bugs everywhere. It's like sleeping in this stone tower in the middle of a swamp. It's not the best conditions by any means. Luckily, though, it's so hot and humid here that you won't need a fire to stay warm, which is a plus. If you guys were like in the northern part of this world, that'd be an issue, but not here. But yeah, I guess I'll just ask this. You hear cannon fire for probably at different intervals over the course of an hour. You hear probably somewhere in the range of like 20 to 30 shots into the swampland in the distance, 12 miles off. Do you guys let them pass, or do you try to signal them?
I have a feeling this island is very dangerous, and/or is like the Bikini Atoll thing where they did like nuclear testing equivalent, right? And they're just firing shit to kill monsters on the island. Like I don't have a good feeling about the island, but I also don't have a good feeling about the ships.
Are they
you know,
flying
you know?
a flag?
You can't see from this distance. They're super far off. If you guys had a spyglass, you could see, but unfortunately, you do not at this moment.
Gotta find me one of those. I still don't think you guys signal. Because I think if you light a fire and try to signal, they'll fire at the tower.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll necessarily like say, "Oh, there are people over there, we need to save them." It'll be like, "Oh, there's like a creature in the tower, let's kill it."
Let it pass for now. There's still a lot we don't know about this place, and everyone we've met so far has not been that friendly.
All right. So you let it pass. And if you want to take note, it passes northeast along the eastern side of the island. Once it's past that area of marshland, it starts to hug closer to the coast. And you see its figure disappear once it becomes eclipsed by the edge of the island shape on the eastern shore. A very eerie late night encounter. Your nerves are definitely racing until you see its shape disappear onto the horizon, and the morning sun start to rise on your second watch. The water starts to recede from this hex. So let me grab this. And it is now returned to a marshland. And it actually extends further out than you had previously seen because you guys were unconscious for an unknown amount of time. But it has returned to solid land.
Okay. And is it daytime now, or is it like dawn is about to break? Slash, is the ship still there? Because I see it in the tile, but like it may have left by, like you said, it went up the east coast of the where we are, but
Ship has left, as well as the wrecks of the two galleons have disappeared beneath the waves.
okay. So there's some information that I want to talk about here. One, there were like a couple ships firing cannonballs into the island, kind of weird. Even weirder that they disappeared during the day and were only shooting at night. So like something spooky goes on at night, and I don't like it.
One other point of order. In the early hours of the morning, you see a group of about 15 figures in the distance.
Oh, fuck.
They look to be roughly around the area that the galleons were. They appear to be of a darker complexion, and they appear to be wearing these like cloaks of like loose cloths, and you see a lot of them appear to be wearing like scavenged clothing. You see like leathers, you see like company cloaks, you see like helmets, Morian helmets, and you see that group heads towards the Gilliflower.
Okay.
And over the course of the second watch, they do something aboard the Gilliflower. It appears like they leave the Gilliflower and head north into the forest.
Wait, that was the one with the bodies spilling out where the fungus monster was. They just kind of went in and walked out.
Yeah.
Yo, what the hell?
We opened the way for them.
Not the Endymion. The Gilliflower is the one
that's
that's smashed in half, but it has all those people.
Oh, we used the
That's
cannon
where we
from the
shot the
Gilliflower to
cannon
aim at the
from.
Endymion. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I'm getting like the isolated tribe vibe from them, like the cannibals. That's the vibe I'm getting. So do we try to avoid contact with them, or do we try to go help them? I think we should plan that out once we wake up, because that's not something we should make up on the fly, I feel like.
Oh,
Do we lose Caleb?
It's turn.
I think we should still avoid them for now, just because, like, Seth said, I guess Lilyheart says, like, we don't know.
we just
Much
see
about
this
the
group
island.
on the beach, like running along in the distance.
Yeah, you see them scavenge the Gilliflower, and it looks like they head north.
And it's a large group.
Yeah, it's what's called a detachment. So, how it works in this game is if it's like 15 or more people, they're a detachment, which is like a small unit. And to reflect how difficult it is to fight 15 people, normal attacks won't work against them. Only ones of sufficiently large damage, like a bomb or a cannon, or things with like a blast effect to them. There's other ways too, like you could set up traps and things like that, but you know if you were to try to face this group head on, it would not be pretty. But, you know, they could be someone to communicate with, someone to barter with, someone to talk to.
What are they wearing? What do they look like? Are they like in like makeshift clothes? Like they've been established on this island for a while?
It certainly looks that way. I'll show you guys what they look like. You can kind of see it from this distance. You see a lot of them are wearing like cowls. They're darker skinned, and they have these like loose pieces of cloth and fabric around them and like scavenged goods. That's what they look like.
Something pop up I did not see.
Here, I'll move you guys back to here. Here, I'll do it one more time. This is what they look like.
Oh, there we go. Are they carrying any weapons, like swords that we can see in their hands? Anything obvious?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of them are carrying spears.
Well, what are you guys thinking? I mean, should we just let them go? Could trade with them. They might have some.
Are they coming towards us?
No, they were heading away from the gillyflower, right?
Yeah, I'll actually put them on the map here as well. Oh, this is cool. I'll put a series of tracks on the hex that they're in right now. So looks like they're headed through this hex.
Okay. Yeah, they're headed away from us.
Yeah.
So we'd like be going out of our way to flag them down.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to mess with anybody who
Right.
directly in our path.
But yeah, it is now 6 a.m. The second watch has concluded. You guys now have the first morning watch ahead of you.
So, are we all rested at this point?
Yep.
Nice.
That's nice.
I guess. Yeah, let's pack it up.
All right. I guess Marcel will start like moving the boards from the front door.
Should we mark down our like the rations that we use?
Yep. So each of you will consume 1 ration and 1 water ration for the day.
All right. Well, we should I'll take 4 of the standard rations out of my inventory because those spoil easier, so it would be better to just eat them as soon as possible. And then I think we have 4 total water rations at this
I
point.
had
Yeah,
one that I used it for myself, so we need 3 more.
And we
well,
got how many?
I had in my note that we at the end of last session we had 2, and then we just collected 2 more.
Yep. That looks right.
So I think the one that you consumed was included in the 2 that I had written down. So I think we had 4 and we spent 4.
Yep. So you guys are cleared out for your water rations.
Wow.
As you guys wake up, the sun is like blazing overhead this tower. You see like the morning bugs start to come out You hear the cry of insects from the woods in the distance. What do you guys do? What do you guys talk about? I mean, this is a pretty new group, but do you guys share any additional information about yourselves?
I feel like we're like taking down the barricades and everything, and Lilyheart just kind of turns towards Bakara.
Devas and I saw a ship last night. It was firing cannon fire somewhere on the island. Made its way northeast and disappeared around the island.
Oh, well, you know, I imagine there are many ships that come passing through here. Some with malice and some without it. Not for us, I doubt.
No one's coming for us.
Precisely.
We'll have to find our own way off this godforsaken island.
You hear Marcel shoot her out from across the room. We're property. No one's coming to look for us. Everyone assumes we're
And
dead.
if they're coming to capture us.
Oh, trust me,
right.
they're slaves.
I don't think
That's
we're that
why-
valuable as property either, so lower on the chances there.
The concern is us dying from them not finding us. These stupid marks on us.
And as you run your hand across the mark, each of you is going to take 1 damage to your strength.
Oh,
Oh,
As you gather, this is
My
a ticking time clock to burn your strength until you have no more, if you've not returned these treasures to a quartermaster.
who's got the lowest strength?
I have an 8.
What is it now?
Well, it's an 8 now.
Okay, so it wasn't
I have, let's check. I don't think I have 7, so I have 6 now, which is not good.
like 6 days. I assume yours is higher than that. Steph?
Yeah, mine just got reduced to 9.
As did mine. Alright. Well, we are going to need to find something, or someone at least, who can free us of this binding. Granted, we will need water far sooner than that.
Perhaps we should make our way inland then.
I suppose. I
Even
do
if
not-
we are found by the company, we won't. At least not all of us will be able to pay off our debt.
Like, we only have like 1 artifact right now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna need supplies if we're gonna get off this island. We should head inland. That's what I say.
Cool. So you guys have 2 options. You have the hex to your northwest and the hex to your northeast. This day, I'll say, it's a drier day. There's no rainfall, but overhead it's still overcast, and it's a little cooler than the previous day, but not by much. So where would you like to go?
So northeast, that hex still has some coastal space, but the one northwest is all completely inland, it looks like.
Both hexes are marshland.
Okay.
They both look pretty similar to each other. You do see that there's more of an inlet or like a bay to the northeast.
idea where that ship went. So we either go in the direction of the cannon happy ship, or in the direction of that larger group.
I say we follow the ship.
We are going to need a way off of this island no matter what. And it was a sloop that we saw. Perhaps not that larger crew.
Cool. So you guys want to go northeast?
Yep. Guess so, yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Only love to go.
So as you guys begin to enter this hex, you see it's this like weaving series of interconnected streams. It becomes a maze of mangrove roots and these sunken, abandoned dwellings that are partially submerged in the marsh. They don't look to be of Bastionard creation. They look to be perhaps native dwellings. And you maneuver through these like dense roots and branches, heavy mist obscuring the way, bubbles appearing beneath the murky water. And you begin to smell this like foul, sulfurous stench. But Devars, you see this lone figure off in the distance, maybe a half mile from you all, crouched on the shore. You see he has dark features. Part of his belly is exposed and it's muscled. And as you draw closer, you see this figure dives into the water off the coast, and there are these long dreadlocks that trail behind him like a tail as he submerges beneath the water.
What was he doing there? Like, was he like we just saw him jump into the water, basically?
Yep.
I'm gonna watch to see he doesn't submerge.
Do you watch to see where he swims to?
Yeah, he's gotta get air eventually. I mean, right?
Only Devars sees this. But you see in the far distance, slightly off the coast of this marshland, is an island formed entirely from mangroves. And you see this figure swim to the base of this island and vanish into the fog. You see very faint traces of what looks like rope ladders and driftwood walkways. Like this is some sort of human settlement.
How far in the distance is this island?
It's about 2 or 3 miles in the distance.
So this same figure like closed that distance in like an alarmingly short period of time too,
Yep.
as also.
Yep.
peculiar. So I'll point out that island. Like, does anyone notice that? That looks like an island in the distance. Over there.
You point it out, and you're the only one that can see it.
And those trees over there inland, those look like might be coconut trees, I think.
Like we don't even see like the mangrove trees.
No. You see, like, there are mangrove roots on the shore, and you see where he's pointing to, and it's just this, like, blanket of fog. You're not really convinced that anything is there, but Devars insists that it is.
The water rations get to you. There's nothing there.
Can I still see it, or now do I just see the fog too?
You still see it.
No, it's right there. I saw something was swam right
How
over
far
there.
is that? No, never mind. You're saying that someone swam to the island?
It was a figure. It was a distant something. I mean, you'll see. Once that fog clears, you'll all see.
Which direction was he pointing? Was he pointing out here since we're going up the east?
So it's actually in that hex you guys are in right now.
Oh.
It's just
Oh,
a
it's
few miles off the coast.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is there anything else in our area that we can like see in this hex or explore in this hex? Are there any like notable features, or do we have to search for that?
Yeah, why don't you give me a D6 roll.
E6. 4.
Okay. Oh, this is actually perfect. You see that
Frozen, Tyler. I don't know if your camera died. Sorry.
Oh, am I frozen?
Maybe that's just for me. Sorry.
No, he's moving for me.
He's moving for me.
Live action Tyler.
Stop motion. You see that group you had seen previously scavenging the gilliflower makes their way across your hex ahead of you towards this place that that Devars swore he saw, to this like island of mangroves that he supposedly pointed out to you. And as soon as they start to draw close to it, you see it. You see the shape of this massive island settlement that's obscured by this fog. But as soon as this group enters in, the fog once again obscures this mangrove island.
We all saw it this time.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
So it seems like a place that you just need to know where it is. Hmm.
But other than that, it's just a hex completely filled with these marshland and just abandoned homes. Looks like people used to live here on the beach, but have perhaps gone elsewhere.
I take it our goal then is to, at least internally for the group, maybe get a raft to go out there, because I don't think we're swimming like a couple miles off the coast.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth the risk.
I mean, fair. If we don't find anything inland, we at least have a place where people are going that we should take note of.
It's also it's walking distance from the coast.
Oh,
It's not like you have to sail out to it. It's in your hex. So it's like essentially
you
just
said a couple miles off the coast, though.
a couple miles from you, not off the coast. So it's essentially like
I see.
a small island that's like just off the coast of this marshland. So you could walk to it, but like Caleb said, you don't know these people or who they are. It definitely would carry some
Yeah.
risk.
Yep. Yeah. Still something to keep in the back of our head just in case. Okay. We didn't find anything else in the hex, right? Just the evidence of that island actually existing.
Yeah, nothing else in this hex.
How long does it take to traverse a hex? 6 hours? Half a day?
One watch, which is 4 hours.
Do we try to go up into another hex that we haven't seen, like this one or like this one? That I can draw on the map. This one or this one? Yes, no? Do you have a preference?
Well, if we go more to the right, we're going towards boat.
I say, so is this? We're in this hex. Actually, I'm trying again. We're in this hex. If I look left or right, are either of these tree lines yet? Or no? Or is that still marsh?
Yep. It's a short length of tree line, probably a couple miles, and then it immediately hits mountains.
Okay.
So
I think
I'll put that on there.
I think if we should keep an eye on the boat so that we see what they were shooting at potentially, but we like basically stay in the tree line.
We should be able to keep an eye on them from a pretty good distance, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So like, stay in the tree line, or at least where there's cover, and then, you know, if we run to the boat, we can at least see where it's parked or docked for now.
Which boat are you referring to?
The one that was going up the east.
When we were following, kind
Eastern
of the
coast.
smaller one, not a frigate, but it was like a smaller. I forget
Oh
what you
yeah,
called it.
that boat has already disappeared from your vision.
Oh, it's already gone.
Yeah, you assume it probably went around the east side of the island by this point. Ships can cross hexes very quickly. But yeah, you don't see it off the coast of this hex.
Yeah. I think we were just saying if it came back, we would go up
Oh,
the coast
gotcha.
and stay in the trees.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So let's go on the right so we can just see potentially how this island shapes out, and then we can head inwards afterwards. So we'll go to the northeasterly hex from where we are. And that should put us at another 4 hours.
Yep. So at this point, it's 10 a.m. The sun's heat is beginning to blast on all of you. Devars, I'll have you roll a d6.
Okay. Strong roll.
5. Okay. You arrive on what looks to be a pine forest. But you see now this invasive species of plant has taken over it. The trees are completely covered in it. It looks similar to kudzu, if you've ever seen that.
Oh, vines.
Vines. The earth itself is concealed. It's so thick with it. And it's only otherwise punctuated by these stooped and shaggy figures of vine-choked trees leading up to this mountain in the distance. And you see what looks to be the silhouette of a church, just barely discernible beneath mounded vines. A leafy cross on its steeple. And with a 5. Okay, good to know. That is what you see.
Do we recognize, like, what this church is devoted to? Like, what god or gods?
You gather that it also falls under Saint Katerina of the Bells.
Damn lady.
And it's like overtaken by vines and foliage.
Yeah, almost completely.
Think she's keeping any monsters in this one?
Maybe it's worth a look. See if there are any stores of water or food that were left behind.
At the very least, it can be a place we can rest, just like the last one.
I agree.
Approach with caution, nonetheless.
All right. I'll show you guys the art for this hex.
Zoom out. Spooky.
Freaky. Burb.
As you approach, you see rows upon rows of coffins lie open on the ground, their lids thrown open. They look as if they have been heaved up through the earth in some great storm surge. And you see a mausoleum nearby. You just hear the sounds of banging coming from within.
Better not. I'm not going near that thing.
To the northwest, you see what looks like a church, like I described previously. There also looks to be like a patch of bare earth directly to your north, not covered by these vines. Cool. What would you guys like to do?
I am not going near that godforsaken tomb, but I will go into the building. That
Would
should
have
be.
to agree with you.
Okay.
That's 50% at least. How about you two?
Where was that opening in the field?
Yeah, so you see the church is kind of like northwest of you, and directly north of you there appears to be a patch of just bare earth that's not covered by these vines.
Well, I'd go in the building, but I kind of want to check out that clearing over there in the field before I enter the building.
Be my guest. I am not stepping into it.
All right, so Devars heads towards the opening. The rest of you guys are going to head towards the church.
I'll go with divorce. And
I was
just
gonna say, I was gonna leave him alone.
I'll watch him. I'm just not going into the patch.
I'll go with him. Well, us three will die, and then it'll just be Bakara left. I'm fine with this.
Succumb to sepsis or something.
Okay. So the three of you are heading to the field. Bakar is heading to the church.
I mean, I'm not going to the church by myself, but I'm just not stepping in that patch of whatever. I'll stand like near enough to it, but not in it.
Gotcha. Okay. Just stand on like the very edge of it.
Yeah. I'm not ballsy enough to go by myself.
You see at the edge of this patch of bare earth, at each edge are these two vine-choked oak trees that appear to be ancient looking. And in the center of this patch of earth, you see a ring of 13 human corpses laying as a circle on the ground, feet inward, each of them posed to hold a palm frond on their face. It appears like some dark, bizarre ritual, maybe.
Are they like wearing any of the SPC clothing, or do you, like any of them have brands or things to indicate that they were from our ship?
No. You see some of them appear to be of a darker complexion. Almost bordering on like leathery skin. You had seen the figures headed towards the Gilliflower and back to that island are of that similar complexion. And it seems like these might perhaps be the island natives.
Mm-hmm.
You see a couple of them are island natives, and the rest of them, probably 7 or 8, so the majority, appear to be Bastionard colonists. You see like loose fitting leathers and wool and cloth, cotton. You see some hats, some gloves, some watches. but they're all positioned holding this palm frond over their face.
I'm glad I didn't go.
This look familiar to you, Devars?
No, can't say it does. It maybe a cult or something. This could be part of the. Could be part of the cult. Kind of freaky. There's no obvious sign of death, like puncture wounds or anything within.
They appear to be like pretty rotted, and like caked in mud, like they were dragged here. But if you take the time to like get close and inspect, you see a lot of their arms appear to have lacerations on them, like cuts. And you see a lot of them appear to have been decapitated, but subsequently put back together for this arrangement, this circle.
I got nothing. You guys
We can
want to
take
check out that church?
Yeah, we can take note of it and head to the church instead.
Yeah, this place is.
This might all start making sense once we go in the church too, which is not going to be fun. But
Whenever they come back towards me, so was I right that it's probably not best to go over there?
We'll see. Might have learned something new.
Right,
But it was pretty gross.
Glad I did not go. I'll lead us to the church if we're looking for a leader.
Okay. So you see, you head up to the churchyard. You see dead and leafless vines hold close to the earth here. You see on the ground loose beads, splintered holy symbols, and withered corpses. Do you guys take the time to like scavenge amongst these roots? It seems like there's some stuff here.
Look around for any little artifacts and things.
Okay. You find a medal of Saint Katerina that looks to be valuable. You find undamaged prayer beads that also look to be pretty valuable. And you find what looks to be a holy book of Saint Katerina. It looks like woodblock printed and like pretty nice. Gold leafed. You gather it could probably fetch a good price in port.
Are those all small objects?
Those are all regular objects. Besides the beads will be a small object because you can wear them.
Gotcha. Does somebody want the medal or the holy book? I mean, I can carry them. I have space because I consumed a water, but
Yeah, I have space now as well.
3, 4, 5, 6.
that would put me up to
I am maxed out since I lost that strength.
Yeah, I have 3 more.
I can take
spots
all,
now.
unless you want to take one of them. So
Yeah, I'll take one. What do you want me to have?
You want the holy book?
Sure. What's her name again? Saint what?
Katarina
Katarina. With a C.
Katarina.
with a C. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4,
Holy Book of Saint Katarina.
6 and 2/9 out of 9.
Nice. But yeah, you see the facade of the church in the distance is covered completely with vines. The only indication of its nature is its rough silhouette and the vine-wrapped cross on its steeple. You gather, in order to make it through, you'll have to try to hack through the vines.
I've got this saber.
I've got my mice. Anyone got a machete?
No.
Nope.
That or a bomb. Those are our real options. But I can try to saber through and save the bomb.
Probably
Yeah,
the
definitely
best
do that.
bet.
All right. So you guys gonna hack through with your bladed weapons?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
As you begin to hack through, you see these items begin to appear in the chains. These like broken prayer beads. These once fine chains bearing metals that appear to be dented and broken and rusted. And these moldering paper chains that someone maybe made at some point, all cut down with the vines as you begin to make your way through. But it's at this moment that you see emerging from the steeple, from the vines beyond where you guys are right now. You see this face, this pale human face that emerges from the darkness. But it quickly turns 180 degrees and you see a panther's face on the opposite side. You see this creature begin to maneuver its way out of the vines, holding this palm leaf up to its eyes so you can't see it. And it rushes down towards you, hiding its double face.
Is it like aggressively running towards us?
Yep.
Fuck.
It doesn't look like it wants to like give us a hug or anything.
I think Marcel will instinctively ready his last shot of his flintlock for when it gets closer, so he can fire on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe whip out the blunderbuss until I can see the whites of its, one of its sets of eyes.
Yeah.
I'm currently carrying a bulky item. I have the ornate rug, so I'm just gonna kind of hold it ready. If it comes to pounce at me, I'm gonna try to block it with this rug.
I'll use it as like a
Yeah,
net.
I was
You
gonna-
Or like
get a
I can
bull,
like
bullfighting it.
like the
Yeah.
bull-
Yeah. That's funny.
And as you get closer, you see that this thing is like a human and a panther corpse merged together into this like inhuman monster. And as it charges at you through these vines, that's where we'll leave off.
Oh, shit. Well, fucking weird panther person.
Can't wait to die session as soon as we
Fucking
start.
furry.